Tonight, looking for leads in a downtown Kitchener shooting. A new appeal after some weekend gun violence that left a man in critical condition. Good evening. It was 2 o'clock Sunday morning when gunfire brought police to Gowdy's Lane and Queen Street in downtown Kitchener. At last check, the man who was wounded is still in critical condition. And police think somewhere out there, someone's camera may have captured a clue that could help them find out who did it. CTV's Jeff Pickle reports.
It was a little after 2 a.m. Sunday morning when police were called for reports of gunfire. Police say a 21-year-old man was found with a single gunshot wound and taken to hospital with serious injuries. The victim was then transferred to an out-of-region hospital and remains in critical condition.
The major crime investigators are out canvassing the area. They're looking for video evidence, any other type of evidence that anyone may have.
Detectives and forensics were still on scene after the sun came up Sunday morning. Police have released very little information, but tell us they believe the attack was targeted.
Initial investigative information does suggest this is a targeted incident. It's not random, and our investigators are certainly doing their best to bring this to a successful conclusion.
To find those responsible, police say they need help from the community.
The biggest and most important piece for us to be able to solve any type of incident like this is really, it comes down to videos. We appeal to the public every time. We solve these incidents through witnesses, through video, businesses, cell phones, dash cam, anything that anyone may have.
Police say there is no detail too small to send to police.
Even if you think it's not relevant at the time, but it possibly could be, we still want to see it. It's very important to us, and there could be just one little piece in there that changes the case for us.
Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Kitchener.
High heavy police presence in a Kitchener neighborhood today during an investigation tied to online marketplace deals. There were several cruisers and officers with rifles along Shanley Street. Police recovered a vehicle they believe is connected to several incidents involving thefts and robberies from online marketplace deals. A man was taken into custody, but police didn't release any information about him. They say the investigation's ongoing. Another kind of crime is on the regional police radar tonight. They're getting reports about people finding what could be tracking devices, the kind of technology that's helpful to find lost keys, wallets, or pets, but that could also be used by people with other intentions. CTV's Alexandra Hollick reports.
Whether they're attached to your keys or stored in your suitcase, smart trackers are designed to find your belongings in seconds. But in the wrong hands, they can be used for something far more sinister.
As a stalking device, by putting it in someone's purse or in their jacket or in a vehicle, and then tracking the motions of that individual.
The device is easy to get and doesn't cost much, but police warn it could put someone's privacy and safety at risk.
We could see it in criminal harassment cases where perhaps intimate partner violence may be an issue, or any type of person-on-person crime. It could be used in a situation where maybe a vehicle is being tracked to see when it's being unoccupied as an opportunity.
This is one example of just how small these smart tracking devices can be, and drivers are urged to check their vehicles for unknown tags regularly. This tracker could be found in here, behind here, in here, or under here.
When people are putting these things into a vehicle, they're not there for a long amount of time. They kind of want to be in and out quickly. So that's why it's anywhere that's quick accessible, but also hidden at the same time.
Sometimes your phone will notify you if an unknown tracker is nearby. As for where you can be tracked,
Geography doesn't really matter. That tag, wherever it is, if it's placed on you, it can essentially follow you around the world.
If you do come across a tag, don't panic and don't touch it.
Pull over somewhere safe, somewhere well lit, somewhere where there's lots of people, and notify the police.
There could be information on there, or depending on where it was located, you know, it helps the investigation.
A smart solution to try and stop bad actors in their tracks. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
New data about e-scooter collisions in Waterloo region. The number of crashes involving scooters so far this year is already on pace to surpass the total for all of last year. Regional police say so far this year there have been 22 collisions compared with 28 in all of last year. 3 of this year's collisions resulted in major injuries compared to 1 for all of last year. And over the last 12 months, a total of 40 injuries have been reported from collisions involving the devices. In Stratford, police are investigating a crash that left an 86-year-old pedestrian dead. Police say it was shortly after 11 yesterday morning when a truck hit the pedestrian near the Sport Check entrance at Stratford Mall. Firefighters helped free the person from under the truck. He was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries and later died. The 38-year-old driver from St. Catharines was not injured. Just weeks before a new school year, parents in Grey and Bruce counties are being warned that school buses may not be available for everyone in September. A notice posted by both the Blue Water School Board and the Bruce Grey Catholic Board says efforts to negotiate a new contract with local school bus operators have so far failed. The boards say they're exploring ways to reduce the impact, but say they wanted to be transparent and let families know they might need to make other transportation arrangements. They're promising to keep providing updates as the situation develops. Advocacy group School Bus Ontario is suggesting if a deal isn't reached by this Friday, there won't be time for all drivers to get ready for the first day. They're calling on the provincial government to step in, saying in a release tonight, without contracts in place, operators cannot make the investments and commitments necessary to prepare for September. The government needs to move quickly. Ontario's big city mayors are asking the province for billions of dollars for treatment programs to address what they call a crisis with homelessness and addiction. CTV's Siobhan Morris reports.
There are human tragedies playing out every day on sidewalks and in parks across the province.
We can't continue to walk around or step over. We have to solve this.
Ontario's big city mayors pleading for help, urging the provincial government to declare a state of emergency to tackle homelessness and addictions, dual crises putting a strain on cities and towns. While Queen's Park has put up $500 million for treatment hubs, it's only a drop in the ocean of what mayors say is required.
We are funding $4 billion on an issue that properly sits with provincial and federal governments to fund. We're doing that out of the property tax base. It's simply not sustainable.
Big city mayors want the Ford government to consider forcing drug treatment on people without their consent, asking for a panel that might include mental health experts and lawyers.
We need to do this in a thoughtful way with appropriate people and safeguards that protect people's human rights, that work to get people the care that they need.
Toronto's top mayoral challenger doesn't want to wait.
The time for study is over. People have waited long enough. People are dying on our streets now, and we need to course correct.
The current mayor batting away the question of mandatory treatment.
Well, let's make sure there's treatment first. The provincial government owns the city about $20 million.
To cover supportive housing, a gap mental health advocates say needs to be filled.
We don't have enough support for what I call voluntary treatment, individuals who are stepping forward and saying, I really want to reclaim my life.
Ontario's NDP not staking out a firm position for now.
What is required here is both a plan based on evidence and based on empathy.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Starting today, cash deposits are required for people who are granted bail in Ontario courts. CTV's John Woodward has more on the new system and the concerns it's generating.
He's already out there. That's not going to be a problem.
Last year, the self-styled cocaine lawyer Deepak Paradkar was arrested on allegations he acted as a fixer for former Olympic snowboarder and alleged drug kingpin Ryan Wedding. He's fighting extradition to the U.S., and a Superior Court justice allowed him released on the strength of a pledge that if he fled, he, his wife, and wife's cousin would have to pay up to $5.25 million, one of the largest bail amounts in Canadian history. Ontario's new rules might have meant Paradkar would stay behind bars for a while longer, requiring not just a pledge, but the $5 million in cash up front. The government says this makes consequences of a breach immediate. Right now, the government has to pursue the debt.
People deserve to feel safe in their homes, at work, and in their daily lives. They deserve to know that when someone is released on bail, the conditions attached to that release are taken seriously.
The new rules take effect Monday, applying to bail amounts big and small, and that's where critics say the law is a violation of Canada's Charter of Rights because it treats people differently depending on their income.
It's creating a two-tiered system. If you have money, you can get out of jail. If you don't, you're stuck.
Other concerns, it could add more people to Ontario's overcrowded jails and create court paperwork for every bail case instead of just those who breach.
This is, again, solving a problem that doesn't exist and just going to create absolute administrative havoc.
Upfront cash bail is the law in many American jurisdictions, and not worth following here, say those who are readying that charter challenge.
The law changes what has been the status quo for about over 50 years, where cash bail is very much the exception and not the rule.
Ontario's government in the midst of a $3 billion jail expansion to provide 2,500 more jail beds. Critics don't want those beds occupied by people who just can't afford to leave. John Woodward, CTV News, Toronto.
Still ahead, a local innovation that could be a game changer for food production.
AI told us that this one is better because it can, better actually tolerate to different climate variables and variation.
CTV's Karis Map will tell us how technology developed at the Ontario Agriculture College in Guelph is helping bean crops fight back in a tougher growing season. Well, here's a look at our satellite and radar tonight. It's a pretty quiet story with really no precipitation being tracked anywhere around southern Ontario tonight. Temperatures are a little bit on the cool side. 17 degrees in Waterloo region and London, 18 in Windsor, 20 is the mild spot right now in Toronto. And here's a look along King Street East in Kitchener a little bit earlier tonight. Those condos that have been taking shape continuing to rise up in the sky. Back with more news in 2 minutes. An Elora man has turned a serious health diagnosis into an annual show of support for other young adults fighting cancer. The 6th annual RJ Strong Golf Tournament was held over the weekend at Wild Winds Golf Links to raise money for an endowment fund established by Ryan Johnston and the Waterloo Regional Health Network Foundation. CTV News multimedia journalist Rowan Fissler was there to bring us the story.
We are here for our 6th annual charity golf tournament, raising funds for an endowment fund that we started, I guess, 6 years ago now. February of 2020, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Throughout my kind of treatment process and journey with the Waterloo Regional Health Network, I realized that I was in a fortunate position, but I started to wonder how that was handled by everybody, and then we certainly noticed a gap throughout the process that we wanted to support.
They reached out to us a number of years ago, and they want to do something a little bit different. They want to do an endowment fund that would hopefully survive and grow and live for a long time that way. And so we immediately said yes. It's incredible to meet out there, and Brian shared with me that he was so fortunate to have a family and a community that supported him through his treatments, and that was the impetus of him giving back. And he wanted to give back to those that couldn't or didn't have that support around him or around them.
We've raised, as of last year, about $350,000 net to the fund, and we're supporting young adult cancer patients, so anything from critical care expenses to medications or any treatment, transportation, gas, groceries, really anything that we can support to make the journey a little bit easier. We're certainly proud and grateful to be able to do that.
Really does remove some of that stigma and makes it, it gives people a voice knowing it's not just themselves going through it. There's others that are going through a similar journey, and it helps them maybe share or reach out for help or support.
Couldn't be more proud of him for thinking of that, because it truly was his idea. And then it goes much beyond. This is balloon, it's certainly a major tournament. I couldn't be more proud that what began as an idea has come to fruition and raised a lot of money over the few years. Could not be more proud.
A fundraising effort is underway to expand a program in Huron County that's helping first responders off the job because of post-traumatic stress disorder. CTV's Scott Miller reports.
Chris Fedorko didn't really think that hanging out with a horse would help him with his PTSD, but it has.
I didn't want to do it that day. I was busy. I had so much stuff on the go.
And then when I came out here, I forgot about all that stuff.
Fedorko is a Huron OPP officer who was diagnosed with PTSD in 2023 following a 2019 on-the-job incident.
There's a large group of us that are off work with a work-related injury dealing with severe PTSD, and I'll be honest, we're getting very little, if any, support from our organization and employer, and that needs to change.
Fedorko and 16-year military veteran Mark Morse will be completing their second annual Ruck March from Goddard to Port Franks next month to raise awareness about the lack of PTSD supports for first responders in Canada.
There's a lot of bravado that comes out with the job. It's driven by leadership. And society doesn't see the people behind the uniform.
The money raised from the Morse Memorial March goes towards an equine therapy program specifically designed for first responders in Western Canada. But Morse and Fedorko want to see a similar program started in Huron County at Poppy's Haven near Varna.
We would very much like to expand that both for individuals, for couples, for small groups, for families. We've even talked about potentially turning the farmhouse into a residential opportunities so people could actually come perhaps with the therapist and spend a weekend.
Fedorko says he's aware of 4 Ontario police officers who have died by suicide in the past few weeks, so the issues aren't getting better, they're getting worse.
You don't hear about it in the public because they don't want you to hear about it because it's negative for the policing community, but it happens and it needs to be addressed and things need to change.
In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Researchers at the University of Guelph could be on to the next big thing for food production. They've sprouted what they're calling a super bean that can withstand harsher conditions, and they got there with a little help from artificial intelligence. CTV's Karis Map explains.
You will see the differences, and that's the magic of the AI.
Artificial intelligence is helping bean breeders from the University of Guelph harvest a high-end legume.
I call it super beans because I think we are at some point that we can get the best juice out of the data with the help of using AI.
Advanced technology developed by the team at the Ontario Agricultural College speeds up the selection process when crossbreeding seeds.
We are the first breeding program that we are using hybrid AI.
Taking 40 years of archived program data, combining it with published academic papers, and putting it all in one place. That's how Bean GPT was formed.
It's about taking the enormous amount of data that we have through genomic analysis and then making decisions about what varieties to start crossing to achieve what outcome.
I think it's important that we're using the technology that we have for things that will help people in the future.
Thousands of beans, including the AI-influenced ones, were on display at the college's Elora growing facility for the public to enjoy.
Industry partners, governments, farmers, growers, students, all the researchers just coming and see what we are doing as a plant breeder and computational biologist here at the university.
It hasn't exactly been an easy growing season. From severe thunderstorms to swings in extreme heat and even wildfire smoke, all of which can impact how these beans grow.
AI told us that this one is better because it can, better actually tolerate to different climate variables and variations.
Once they're ready to hit the market, the super beans could revolutionize the growing business.
Every dollar invested in research translates into about $40 of commercial value for a farmer. And so, for the sector, this is a really impactful number.
Karis Map, CTV News, Elora.
Later on CTV News, it's kind of like the Olympics for Waterloo Region servers. Heather Senerin will break down the action from the annual charity tray race. First, though, let's check in with Ashley Bacon for a preview of our forecast.
Cool, comfortable conditions expected through the overnight with potential for fog. We'll also see the sun make a return tomorrow. Those details with your full forecast coming up. Stay with us.
Well, here is the Pioneer Memorial Tower in Kitchener at sunset. A very beautiful scene, just a few clouds in the background. Nothing really threatening, though, in the way of any rain overnight tonight across, well, pretty much all of southern Ontario, and some very pleasant temperatures. Actually feeling a little on the cool side compared to some of the nights we've had lately. Just 17 degrees out right now, right across the region. Well, with more details now on our long-range forecast, let's pass things over to Ashley Bacon.
Well, I hope you've had a great Monday and start to your week. Temperature-wise and conditions-wise, it was pretty perfect out there today. Lots of sun, a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of wind, but overall very sunny conditions. We are seeing that clear sky continue through the overnight hours and into your Tuesday. Tuesday really shaping up to be another beautiful, hot, sunny summer day. Get out and enjoy it because August is coming to a close. And as we get into Wednesday, we might see another round of precipitation. Looks like a little bit of a storm band might be sweeping through the region at some point on Wednesday at this stage. Overnight tonight, though, 12 degrees the expected low, so very comfortable conditions. We are looking at potential for fog patches developing around the midnight hour. So if you are out on the roads, make sure you're being safe. Of course, have your headlights on, maybe take your time if you need to. And tomorrow, 26 is the expected daytime high. So things really getting back into the swing of things for summer. A southwest wind between 20 and 40 kilometers an hour is expected. Could be heavier or higher rather at times through the afternoon. So make sure you are enjoying yourself while you're out there, being sun safe, keeping a hat, sunglasses, and of course sunscreen on the ready. Taking a look at our almanac, back in 2007, 5.7 was our overnight low record we were set. We're nowhere near that at 12 tonight. We're right where we should be for this time of year. And of course, sun rising now at 6:29 a.m. and setting at 8:22 p.m. So we are losing daylight every day as we get closer and closer to fall. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast starting for Waterloo region. Showers potentially for Wednesday and 24. Then the sun makes a return for Thursday and Friday, 25 and 26. And then at this stage, it looks like we could see some rain through the weekend, a high of 25 on your Saturday. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, you're going to see a mainly sunny Tuesday, a high of 27. Overnight, though, not very cool. 19 is the expected low. So it could be a warm overnight into Wednesday with a chance for showers on Wednesday and then sunny conditions making a return for the back end of the work week. In southern Georgian Bay, tomorrow looks to be pretty perfect. Mainly sunny conditions, a high of 26, a chance for showers by Wednesday and 23, but then that sun comes back on Thursday and 24. So Tony, get that sunscreen ready. You're going to need it throughout the week.
Going to keep it handy. Was happy to have needed it over the last couple of weeks on vacation, Ash, and looks like we're not quite through with summer yet, which is good. It's only the middle of August. 17 degrees is the current temperature outside our studio. Back in a moment. Finally, for us, local servers took the hustle of a busy lunch rush out of the restaurant and onto the pavement in uptown Waterloo today. CTV's Heather Centerin now on what's become a much beloved balancing act in the name of charity.
Ready, set, serve. Teams went head-to-head trying to balance 5 open water bottles on a tray from one end to the next.
It sounds simple, but it can be kind of complicated when you drop a lot of water and make a lot of mess.
While some seemed to speed through the course easily,
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Others got off on the wrong foot. The handoff to your teammate can be the hardest part.
By the time I got the tray, it was full of water, so that was a little tricky.
Some learning slow and steady wins the race.
You just have to channel what you do every weekend, and it's vibes. I liked it. It was fun.
It's a tradition that's been going on for about 25 years. It started with just a few teams, and this year there's 23.
The teams are made up of servers from Waterloo region and surrounding areas, meaning Ethel's Lounge was bustling with supporters for the event.
It's a camaraderie thing and hanging out with other people in the industry, raising money, having fun, make their boss buy them some drinks.
And it's all for a good cause.
We have the food bank, the Waterloo Region Food Bank, as a sponsor that we're going to get donations for and try and help out. We switch it up every year.
Each bar or restaurant raising money in their own way before the competition.
We only knew that we were coming here about 3 days ago, but our regulars are really awesome, and they were giving us handouts.
This year, they raised about $18,000, which will provide 36,000 meals for families in need. Proving that the hospitality industry in Waterloo region really knows how to deliver, even under pressure. Heather Centerin, CTV News, Waterloo.
Well, very impressive results, and also impressive, really, what a spectacle the tray races have become in Uptown over the last several years. Great day for it as well. That's going to do it for us tonight on this Monday, August 17th. Thanks for checking in with us. News anytime at ctvnewskitchener.ca. See you tomorrow. Good night.